Good day, everybody, and welcome to today's latest episode 65 on my YouTube video series. And today we're going to do my honest review on the project R&F Princess Cove Phase 3. Right, so this video will focus on Phase 3. Right, it's different from my earlier videos on R&F where we talk about Phase 2 or even Phase 1. So Phase 3 is the latest launch in the JB City Centre, and it's a hot project that's actually been selling for past month for now. And I'm going to go through this video in detail. All the important information that you need to know, including pricing, layout plans, why you should buy, why you should not buy, right, this project R&F Princess Cove Phase 3. So before I start, as per usual, let's start with a introduction video of myself.
Director of Alpha Marketing.
Still in Malaysia. So my name is Ryan. Namaste, Ryan.
6,000 incoming supply in Johor. This is
I am driving. Thank you for attending today's presentation on Iskandar, Malaysia.
My name is Ryan Khoo. I'm a Malaysian. I'm a Singapore PR. I've been in Singapore for the past 15 years now, since 15 years, since 2009. So I'm a property investor first. I buy, sell real estate. Mostly I made my pot of gold generally 2 times over the past 15 years. Made good money in Singapore and Malaysian real estate. I'm most well known for being a speaker on property topics. I've been spoken on Property Guru. I've written articles for HProp, ST Property. I've been on stage with many property luminaries, including here in this photo here, the CEO of Promnex, and I've also been on stage with the CEO of ERA, etc. Yeah, and I'm known to be a specialist for Johor Bahru property and retirement in Johor Bahru. That's what my YouTube channel is about. I'm also a property agent, right? So if you want to buy, sell, rent property in JB, I handle most transactions. If not me myself, I will have one of my agents doing it for you. So yeah, so if you want to buy, sell property, I'm also the person you can look for. So and in today's video, we're going to talk about R&F Princess Cove Phase 3. So right now, R&F Princess Cove is probably a project that if you have been paying attention to JB, most of you have probably heard of. It's a very popular project. I'm sure if you have friends who buy property in JB, this project name has probably come up before, right? And we are now launching Phase 3, which the name for Phase 3 is called New Casa Suites, right? And you have an artist impression over here. So you can tell from the artist impression, I think the important thing is that this is actually a considered high density condo, right? From the number from the buildings here, right? And you can see downstairs there's a retail lot, right? And connected to a bridge to the RNF Mall, right? So let's go into detail. So first of all, let's start with a location, right? Location, let's get the basics right. So this is this Customs and Immigration complex, right? The CIQ, where if you normally come over by bus or car, you will pass through this building, right? And over here is JB Central. JB Central is that small retail area that if you go by bus, when you come out, you go to City Square, you pass through where there's Roti Boy and the number of F&B there. And yeah, there's also the KTM station stops, right? This is called JB Central, right? This is also the station where the future ETS to KL will also stop, right? So somebody asked this question recently. If you guys don't know, there's an ETS, which is a train that goes to KL in about roughly 3.5 hours. You can arrive in KL Central. The train also stops here, right? And opposite here, of course, is City Square and Komta, and which most of you probably know lah. So the RTS station is here. So RTS will have its own CIQ, yeah. In case you don't know, if you're not clear, you can watch my earlier video. So RTS station is where the train will go to Singapore Woodlands, and currently under construction and will be ready by end of 2026. We can assume operational by January 2027, which is just about 18 months from now, not very far away, right? And this will add a lot of demand and make it shorten the travel time for people to come to JB. So this is very important, right? So RTS station is over here, and RNF Phase 1 and Phase 2 is here, right? So Phase 1 has the mall, right? So there's an RNF Mall. I'll talk about that later. And there's RNF 2, which is the latest phase to complete last year, which has a very famous for the sea views, right? Next to the water, and here's also the Opera House. So if you drive in from JB or take bus from JB, you probably see this very large condo complex on your right. That is RNF lah. That's why I say RNF is like a landmark. Everybody has probably seen this before, or maybe you didn't pay attention to it. Now you know. This is RNF Princess Cove. Okay. So where's Phase 3? Phase 3 is basically over here. Phase 3 is the biggest of all the RNF phases so far. RNF Phase 2 was only about like 9 acres. So Phase 3 is 11 acres, bigger than Phase 2. This drawing is not really to scale, but Phase 3 is at the back. So one flaw about Phase 3, you can see here, very obviously, there's actually going to be another land in front, which is Phase 4, right? So Phase 4 will block phase 3 lah, in terms of sea view. So for you guys, if you want to buy phase 3, right, there's actually only limited sea view, right? Because there will be a phase 4 in front lah, just to be transparent to everybody, right? And of course today, if you want to come to RNF, you are using this link bridge. The link bridge looks like this, right? Right now they're putting back part of the link bridge. Some of you may comment, hey Ryan, I thought the link bridge is already cut off or something, right? They'll be putting back soon. You can see the final construction works, and from the link bridge, right, from RNF Mall to the immigration is 650 meters. To the RTS all in is probably about 800 meters all in, right? From the phase 1, right? And the link bridge is there. So the link bridge is important because it allows you to walk to the RTS and to immigration in a safe manner. Sheltered walkway, right? If you see here, this is sheltered, so you don't worry about the rain, you don't worry about the sun, it's not hot, right? And you don't worry about traffic, right? So you can walk, play your phone, right? Don't get worried about getting banged by a car, right? And you can, this is open. Many public use it, so it's quite open. You don't have to worry about security, right? You can walk this bridge all the way between RNF and to the immigration, and thousands of people do this every day. Actually, if you pay attention to this, thousands of people cross this area, this direction area. It's a very heavily trafficked area, so using this bridge alone. So this is the important thing that allows you to walk from RNF to immigration. This is why I call this one of my S tier, super tier properties, right? That you can walk to the RTS station and immigration. This is a very important factor, right? Especially for Malaysians who work in Singapore, who like to stay here, as well as Singapore retirees, because they like the convenience and the fact they can go to Singapore easily. So location, this is it, right? And you can expect between phase 3 and phase 2, there are also bridges, right? There's also these bridge connections that connect all the RNF phases together lah. So this is the location, right? So let's talk about some key facts first. So number one, freehold. Don't have to worry about leasehold or that. This is a freehold property. All RNF projects are freehold. This is the biggest site yet, 11 acres, right? 11 acres means that you have a lot of facilities, a big land size to enjoy. So even if you buy a 1-bedroom or a studio, you can walk the entire 11 acres. You feel like you enjoy a mega project. Right? In Singapore, we like to buy mega project, right? Because mega project got more transactions, more facilities, same lah. So in JB, same thing. I try to avoid buying boutique condo. That's too small, right? Singapore also same. You know, boutique condo Singapore also normally don't have so many transactions. So this is a major project, right? A mega size project in JB, right? 4,385 units, right? Over 12 towers. Now this is to be fair, this is a high density project because all projects near RTS will be high density. I know some of you are saying, hey Ryan, wow, 4,300 sound like a lot. I mean, it's not a lot compared to the competitors. Actually, all the projects around here also all consider high density lah. And actually, the density, if you ask me, is similar to HDB density in Singapore, right? It's not very different lah. Okay. Yeah, but like I said, the plot ratio here is high. All projects will be quite high density here because people want to take advantage of the RTS lah. So if you want to find low density, it's not around the RTS. Unfortunately, you have to go further away. Okay. So 4,385 here. They will have retail lots for sale and also penthouses, okay, which is the first time that we have penthouse for sale in RNF, okay. One more thing about high density, I feel that the good thing about high density is that it makes the business here good lah, right? Like F&B, you know, services, shops downstairs, right? They can survive, they can do business here because there's enough people staying here. I think that's a very important factor. One important factor why Singapore, you know, HDB blocks, despite high density, HDB estates, despite high density, right, people find it convenient, right, which is I think important. Okay, so they have one floor of retail lots for sale, right? This you can buy this, but later. 48 months construction. This is a 4-year construction, and they will complete roughly end of 2029. And construction has started. Yeah, I'll show you a photo about that later. So this, in Malaysia, if you buy a new condo like this, you also pay progressive, similar to a new condo in Singapore. New condo in Singapore, you pay progressive. Here also you pay progressive. So you pay as they build. You know, foundation completed, you pay a certain percentage. When they build your floor, they pay a certain percentage. When they build the walls, then you pay a certain percentage, so on and so forth. So it's the same concept, right, for a new launch like this. So one thing good, if you buy phase 3, right, you can stretch your payments over the 4 years. You don't have to pay everything upfront. Okay. And yeah, so there's a walk here. So I put here 900 meters. This is plus minus a walk from to the CIQ via an elevated sheltered bridge, which I mentioned earlier. And if you are a foreigner, right, whether you're a Singaporean or any other foreigner, one thing good about RNF is that you can buy below 1 million ringgit, right? If you buy from the developer, the minimum price is 500,000. Okay, so this is from an old rule, right? So RNF has an old approval from one decade ago where they can sell to a foreigner 500,000. So this applies if you buy from a developer. So this is a good chance, right? If you have a low budget, you want to spend about 150,000 Singapore dollars plus minus, you can buy a 1-bedroom here in RNF freehold, right, near RTS station to Singapore, right, for only 500 plus thousand onwards, okay, for foreigners, right, okay. So this is a site plan for phase 3, right? So phase 3, total there's 12 blocks, right, if you count all these blocks here. The issue with phase 3 is that, like I said, majority of units don't really have sea view. So actually the only sea view is here in C31, this block C31 and C32, where they face this direction towards the east. They have a sea view. So these are the only facings in the entire project, phase 3, that have unblocked sea view. So if you want to buy sea view in phase 3, you only have these options over here, unfortunately. So they are limited sea view, okay. And then if you see down here one, right, these blocks, right, C5, C3A, right, they are going to face phase 4, so their views are also generally going to be blocked, okay. And those units which are facing here, C1 face to the left, they see phase 1, so they are blocked. And then those face to the north, right, up here, C21, C22, when they face up, they're also going to be facing the older condos like VS Summer Place, in the Causeway Square, so they are also going to be blocked. So maximum height here is 49 stories, right, which is pretty high by JB standards, right, but not the highest. And these facilities are all on level 6, okay. So the red color boxes I highlight over here, these are the blocks that have opened for sale. So RNF Princess Cove Phase 3, they have actually opened for sale already roughly about a month ago, right. They have opened up 3 towers so far. So C21 is generally fully booked. C31 has maybe 70-80% sold, and C23 currently maybe all the 1-bedders are fully sold. The balance units are maybe 20-30% sold, right? This excludes the Boomi lots, and this is a very strong performance considering they almost sell very heavily 3 blocks in a matter of 1 month. That shows you how strong the demand here. This is easily almost 1,000 units, or maybe 1,000 units already. Almost 1/4 of the sales they have already achieved, okay, in just 1 month, right? And the reason why they're able to do so, because the price is good, right? RNF Princess Cove have started selling from as low as 800 plus per square foot, but actually in general it's about 900 plus to 1,000 PSF, which is cheaper, right? 30% cheaper than most of the neighbors, right? I'll talk about that later, about pricing. Okay, so another problem that you have in terms of the stack plan here, right, is that these blocks, right, the RTS track is around here. So actually like C2, all face RTS track, right, which is maybe not a very big problem if you buy higher floor, okay. But I'll go through in detail all these facilities later, right. And facilities is very important, right, because in phase 3, right, they have a very big plot of land, so they can do a lot of facilities, okay. And if you want to take the bridge to go back to RNF Mall, the bridge is over here, right, at this section on the site plan, right. And you will appear, if you take this bridge, right, you'll come out somewhere above level 3, which of the RNF Mall, which is above the Da Shanghai dim sum. If you guys are familiar with RNF Mall, right, this will bring you back to Da Shanghai, above Da Shanghai, right, in the RNF Mall, which is a dim sum restaurant on the ground floor. Okay, just to give you some orientation. So why is RNF Princess Cove popular, right? Or why is RNF Princess Cove, why do people want to buy RNF Princess Cove? Because this project, like I said, if you come from Singapore, right, you see this condo complex on your right with this opera house, right? This is the opera house, right? In case you don't know, right? This is opera house. Opera house is something like Esplanade, like Singapore Esplanade. They have performance here. I think Kuma was here last November 2024, right? And there have been a lot of performances here. Comedians, drum performance, orchestra, dancers, right? This happens a lot. Even the schools also use this for convocation and things like that. So this is an opera house with a theatre-like sitting, right? So this is a popular landmark building, right? So RNF Princess Cove, phase 1 was here 2018, completed 2018. Phase 2 was completed 2024 last year, right? You can see immigration here is not far, so people walk this distance. It's not very far, okay? And it's popular because most Malaysians will work in Singapore, or they need to go to Singapore, right? This is nearby, right? And of course, you can see the RTS track over here, okay? So RNF Princess Cove, the important thing to see why it's popular, because this is the first large-scale mixed development in JB, right, near the RTS, right? I think if you look in JB's history, right, last time there were small condos near the RTS, small one, right? All those small condos are standalone boutique condos, right? RNF was the first one major with a mall, right? So I think that's why the impact to JB is bigger, right? It's a Chinese developer, right? RNF Guangzhou, I think it's a top 10 developer in China, right? Phase 1 completed 2018, phase 2 completed 2024. So today, right, when you say RNF Princess Cove, right, there are a lot of people living here today, right? That's why I said the brand name is important, right? One of the most recognizable and known projects in JB, one of the most searched properties on Property Guru in Malaysia, right? So a lot of track record, right? And then again, like I said, popular with Malaysians working in Singapore and Singapore retirees. So if you talk about phase 3, right, on the area map, right, this phase 3 is over here, right? If you compare phase 3 to in relation to phase 1 and phase 2, right? And you may ask me, Ryan, is there something over here in front that will block the sea view? Phase 4 is here, so phase 4 will block the sea view of the some blocks. And over here, there's an electrical substation only. There's, so actually, just as I mentioned, C31, C32, those blocks, right? If they face east, their sea view is also unblocked, okay? And you can see the RTS track over here, right? This leads to Woodlands North. So actually, you can see Woodlands North RTS station over here. Of course, this is an older photo taken about a year ago. But it gives you some idea of the location from an aerial view. Okay, so the important thing about RNF phase 3 is the bridges, right? Why the bridges are important? Because it gives you the connectivity, right? Connectivity from where? Phase 3 to the RNF Mall, right? RNF Mall today is a big mall with lots of things. I'll talk about it later. And it gives which is the convenience and also the connectivity that bring you back to the, what do you call that? Immigration and RTS station. So this is the link bridge. This is the artist impression, right? And RNF Mall, right? And RNF Mall, right? I want to talk about RNF Mall. So when you buy phase 3, right, you get connection to RNF Mall. Now, RNF Mall online doesn't have the best reputation. I know some people like to say, hey, RNF Mall, this mall is, you know, like half-dead mall. Of course, this mall, you cannot compare to KSL or Mid Valley. Definitely KSL or Mid Valley are much bigger, more successful malls. But RNF Mall, when it comes to the basics, I think it does very well. And actually, RNF Mall has improved a lot over the past 2-3 years, right? I think some people who talk when they say RNF Mall is no good, I think they're referring from years ago. You come in today, I think RNF Mall not bad, actually improved a lot already. Okay, the very important tenants, Jaya Grocers, this is a full-fledged supermarket. There's a full-fledged cinema, Wome, right? They have pharmacies, Guardian, DIY. This is a hardware shop which have a lot of home stuff, right? And a lot of F&B today, right? If I talk about F&B, right, of course, don't have time to cover everything. Sometimes it's better to see my TikTok videos to see about F&B tenants here where we can do something more interesting. But we have, I think, quite wide variety. We have Uncle Five, Jubilee Coffee, Pacific Coffee, we have Lau Pa Sat. This is just some to name of it. There's a lot more noodles and other noodle bars and what do you call it? Rice and other kind of meals here, breakfast spots, right? They have Korean barbecue if you want something more high-end. There's 2 Korean barbecue restaurants here, Hannam and Doma. There's also a Japanese omakase, which a lot of people don't know. Okay, bubble tea, there's at least 3. One Chinese brand, which I can't remember the name for purposes of video. There's Tea Life, there's Liho here, Dim Sum, Da Shanghai, right? And Mamak restaurants, there's easily 2 here now, right? If you enjoy the kind of teh tarik and prata, roti canai kind of things, mee goreng, right? Here, so actually, like I said, very wide variety. And if you want services upstairs, there's quite a number of Thai massages. I think there's easily 3 or 4 now. One Chinese massage as well. There's also, you know, things like if you want to do your hair, do your nails, there's also some options over here there today. So like I said, RNF Mall is not bad, right? If you come here as an Airbnb tourist or if you live here as a retiree, right, there's actually, this mall is quite decent and covers a lot of daily needs. And why I say this is important because, like I said, in Singapore, we're so used to conveniences, right? When you stay in Singapore in a HDB estate, you come downstairs, you know, if you walk not far, there's a Sheng Siong, there is a food court, right? There's a fair price, you know. In Singapore, we're used to this. So when retirees and people who come from Singapore come to JB, right, they find that RNF Mall is also not only easy to go to Singapore, but also provide its conveniences. Because many condos in JB, I will highlight, don't have such conveniences. You go and think about it. Many condos in JB don't have such conveniences. Okay, it might be more common in KL, Singapore, right? But in JB, again, many places are not like that. But RNF is at the end. You buy phase 3, you have this connection to the RNF Mall. The other thing you get connected to is the Marina Place and the Opera House, which I said earlier, right? This Esplanade Opera House thingy. So they have shows, you know, you have the best way to see is to go and join their Facebook. Their Facebook has a very good updates on all the schedule of their shows. And Marina Place has a lot of F&B as well. These are a bit more high-end, more lifestyle, a bit like Clarke Quay, right? You have to come after 5 p.m. to see the crowd, right? They open at like kind of 5 p.m. onwards kind of time frame. So they have a beer house, right? Which the food is not bad. I like beer house, even though I don't drink alcohol very much, right? But for food alone, beer house is still pretty good and pretty decent for the price point. There's a hot pot, right? Something like Hai Di Lao. This is a Su Guo Yin Xiang, which is not bad, right? Luna Bar, Bistro, Yenze Bar. This is all with live band, right? There's a fusion restaurant, Vietnamese restaurant, and there's a currently under renovation is one of Fu Zi Cha Chinese restaurant. So this is again many F&B options from this site alone. So when you buy RNF, right, actually it doesn't really matter whether you're buying phase 3 or phase 1 or phase 2, you are buying into this mini township with the culture, right, that it has existing here, which is the amenities and the conveniences, the services included. Because whenever you talk about buying a project in JB, right, like let's say if you compare, let's say Causeway Square or some project in Austin or some project in Medini Putri Harbour, right, sometimes they don't have this culture, right, because they are just a standalone project, standalone condo, right, they don't have this mini township concept. Whereas RNF here, right, I feel one important thing if you buy the RNF is that you buy a phase 3 unit or phase 2 unit, right, you get the entire culture, this 11-year-old mini township, which I think is very important. It makes your lifestyle here a lot better. You buy into the lifestyle of this township, right, not just buying a property, right, which is why I think one of the big advantages of buying RNF Princess Cove. Okay, I'm also a bit biased because my office is here, right? I run a property management company, Good Life. So if you buy into RNF, right, like I said, we have full property management services. So that's so I like the township, right? I like this concept of a mini township. It's like a mini estate, right? Mini HDB estate or mini private estate, right? In JB. Okay. So okay, let's go back to facilities. So facilities is on level 6, right? So as I mentioned earlier, facilities is another big plus point of RNF because they have 11 acres land. They can do a lot of facilities. So number one, they got a full Olympic size pool, 50 meters. Now this may sound strange. You say, Ryan, what's so special about 50-meter pool? Right? I said you will find that a lot of condo in JB City Centre don't have 50-meter pool, right? Because their land is small. Okay, especially near RTS, right? Most of the pools here are smaller. But RNF Phase 3 has a full 50-meter pool, right, on top of the children's pool, right? They have an open lawn over here. This is the what they call outdoor playground. This is for the children's playground. They have a full basketball court, okay, a full tennis court, not half one, full one, right? And they have 4 badminton court on the level 5, right? 4 badminton court, yeah. Not one, 4. Billiard room, ping pong room, right? Amongst other things. So in terms of facilities, they are very sports oriented, right? They call this the urban sky park, right? They have no rooftop facility, so everything is here on the level 6. Okay, so this is the artist impression of the pool. So the gym faces the pool, right? For phase 3, right? This is a full 50-meter pool, as I mentioned earlier, right? This is the artist impression of the gym, right? If you guys have been to the phase 2 gym, you know the phase 2 gym in RNF is very well spoken of. Got aircon, very nice design. They got the rowing machine that everybody is just in trend. Right, so phase 3 has a gym as well. So phase 2 gym is good. So I think we expect phase 3 to be better than phase 2. Right, they have a yoga room as well. Children's activity room. This one, the artist impression is nice. Right, table tennis rooms. Right, they have billiards rooms as well. And the shower and changing room in RNF projects tend to be very big. This one normally, like if you use phase 2 example, or even phase 1, there is a sauna inside and they have showers and changing rooms and a bit like a sauna club style design. It's not just go in, got 2 toilets, that's it, right? Theirs is quite big in RNF, right? And badminton courts, so 4 badminton courts, yeah, a lot. So if they've taken out part of level 5, so just to do 4 badminton courts, which I think is a very, very nice point considering badminton is a very popular sport, right, in Malaysia and Singapore right now. And of course, I don't know whether this will get converted to pickleball court, right? but there is 4 courts, which is a lot, right? They have a full basketball court, full tennis court, as I mentioned earlier, barbecue pits, mini golf, right, and all age sports facilities, right? Okay. So again, they will have all these covered shelter walkways to protect you from the rain, right, and also the jogging track today. If you go to phase 2 today, you can see a lot of people, tourists, residents using the jogging track, right? I didn't know jogging track would be so popular. I don't jog, but yeah. So let's talk about floor plans. So that was facilities for a lot of facilities, and like I said, large facilities, to put it simply. So let's talk about floor plans. I'm going to cover the 4 floor plans that you will see, or we have a show flat. So RNF right now, there's a show flat. If you come to the sales gallery, right, at RNF, we have the show flats to show you. So there's a 1-bedroom show flat. So one thing you'll notice that the sizes in RNF are big. Our 1-bedroom is 577 square feet. This is the no balcony version. There's also another version in balcony. But if you come to RNF, the first thing that you will feel is that our layouts, or the layouts here, are big, right? Open kitchen, right? Windows are double glazed. You have a proper bedroom, no wardrobe provided, but full bathroom. So this is a pretty big one bedder, right? If you compare to like Causeway Square layout is smaller, only 474. It's like 100 square feet smaller, right? But RNF one is pretty big, right? 2 bedroom, right? Our 2 bedroom is 820 square feet. This is the show flat version C1, right? With balcony, right? So again, open kitchen, no yard, right? 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, right? No wardrobe provided, but aircon provided. So this 820 square feet. Again, bigger than Causeway Square. Causeway Square is only 667. Majority of the nearby projects like Gensphere, Causeway Square, all their sizes are smaller. RNF here, Phase 3, they have the biggest sizes so far. So a lot more family friendly. I like it because big size means that you have the likelihood of more what you call family friendly people to stay lah. Sometimes we don't like project that are too investor focused, right? Because when the project is too investor focused, too many dual key, which is what I mean. Too many dual key means too many investor, too many rental tenant. We want projects where we ultimately want families or retirees to stay. This is the better because stay owners take care of their property better, right? So which is what I want. Investors only think about money, right? May not take care of the property so well, right? So we don't want too many investor type layout. So this is a very family friendly layout, right? The 3 bed, we have a 3 bed 3 bath. This is the so-called the dual key, right? But this is only 2 stacks. Entire Phase 3 only got 2 stacks. Very popular. This stack actually in the one tower was fully sold within hours, right? Within 1 hour, 2 hours, fully sold already. But this is the only dual key layout in Phase 3. So you can see the layout here. 3 bed, 3 bath, right? And the other layout that we have is the normal 3 bedroom, 1161 square feet, which is I think the smallest is 1156, but it's around there. All the 3 bedroom in RNF 1161. But you will notice that RNF one thing, the issue is they got all their kitchens are open kitchen and they have no yard. So I think that is the only negative. If you look at RNF layouts, right, I don't know why they don't put a yard. They should put a yard, right? And have some options with closed kitchen. But all RNF, right, whether what size you buy, 1 bedder, 2 bedder, 3 bedder, 4 bedder, all of them have open kitchen, no closed kitchen, right? But sizes are big. Okay, your room size will be decent and you'll find that your living area, dining area is nice. I'll show you some photos later. Okay, so to cover in detail the furnishing, right, what they give, right? So kitchen cabinets provided. So developer provide kitchen cabinets with induction, hob and hood. So if you buy 3 bedroom onwards, there will be oven and your hot hood will be an exhaust version, right? Otherwise, if you buy 2 bedder below, it's just a filter version, right? Digital lock set for main door. Aircon all provided, so living all rooms, right? I think this is a Daikin, right? And your bathroom will be fully done up, including the water heater. So no wardrobe provided, right? And if you come and see the design, you'll notice that the design is a lot more modern, not so China design like in Phase 2, Phase 1. Okay, I'll show you some photos later. Okay, so for car parks, studio and some 1 bedrooms, no car park, right? This is a change, right? Because developers saying that based on experience, right, a number of people who stay here don't need car park because they go to Singapore to work. So we understand where they're coming from. So yeah, so studio and some 1 bedrooms, no car park. Some 1 bedrooms to 3 bedrooms have car park, right? And the 4 bedrooms now will have 3 car parks. So this is a change from earlier phases. Okay, so let's talk about the design. So these are photos from the show flat. This is from the 1 bedroom. It gives you an idea of the kitchen provided. So hood, hob, sink, right? So the washing machine will be a 2-in-1 because this one got no balcony, right? But you'll notice that the design is a lot more modern, right? I think most of you younger generation, Gen Z beyond, you will like this design style, modern Scandinavian design style, right? This is the shot from the living area for the 1 bedder, right? So aircon is provided. And this is the window double glaze, right? And this is the bedroom shot, aircon provided, but no more wardrobe. Okay, and this is the bathroom. Okay, fully fitted out, bidet, mirror, towel hanger, WC, sink. The sink now, they got rid of the wooden cabinets because they find that wooden cabinets always spoil. So nowadays, they no more wooden cabinets. They will just be a quartz top and a quartz bottom. And the full shower, right, with the water heater in the ceiling. Okay, so toilet normally quite complete. No need to do anything. Quite complete, everything provided already. Okay, this is from the 2 bedroom. Okay, so if you buy the the 3 bedroom, from the 3 bedroom you get the nicer hood design, oven as well, right? And this is the room size. You can see it's pretty big, bigger than many projects, right? Bigger than Causeway Square. If you guys watch my Causeway Square video, right? And the room size is also bigger. 3 bedder, you have a bigger kitchen, again with the oven, right? And you see a much bigger, very wider living area to live in, and room size also very nice. This is the TV console from but this is the ID right? You actually buy, you get a white wall Okay, and you can see room sizes are big. Okay, so let's go back to site plan, talk about unit selection, right? Because so Ryan, I like phase 3, I like the price, right? I'll talk about price later. I'll show you why the price is nice. What you need to buy. So what you need to buy actually is controlled by what block is released, right? If you guys are okay to buy bigger sizes, then it's okay. Now, if you're going to buy facing outside, then you buy high floor better. Because if you can buy high floor, you can try to see city view or sea view. You buy taller than the condos next to you, so you can see far, right? If you're going to face outside, buy higher better. If you're going to face inside, you might as well buy low floor or not so low floor, maybe up to 20, because you can look at the facilities, right? Since you buy too, if you buy too high facing inside, right, you're going to be blocked anyway, right? So no point you buy too high if facing inside. If face inside, just buy low floor. I think can already lah. Just see the facilities. It's not bad because you will have a very nice facilities view. Like for example, right, C3. If you buy this units facing here, right, you can see this is quite long, a few hundred meters distance, so it's nice, right? So that's what I mean, right? And if you buy all this facing inside one, right, you don't have to buy too high. 15 to 20th floor also okay already, right? Which is not too bad. One more interesting thing about phase 3, right, is that the ground floor units, which is all the level 6 units here, because level 6 is ground floor, right? They will have a patio area. So you see all this green space, right? Actually, it's a patio unit, with so-called your own land. So it's the first time RNF is doing this, because we have not done this before in phase 2 or phase 1. But phase 3, they will have this, where you have this green area, which is so-called your patio area, right? They have not opened this for sale, right? All the patio units are still not available for sale right now. But I think it's an interesting addition, right? Once we have more information, we'll share about that. How whether the patio unit worth to buy or not, right? And as I mentioned, some people also think about buying from a walking distance. Now, if you want to go to the mall, right, then it's of course better you buy the blocks which are nearer to the bridge, since the bridge is here. So blocks like C1 or C21 or C51, C52, which are nearer to the bridge, people also prefer that as well, because they'll think that walking to the mall is nearer. You save a bit of walking distance, all right? Okay, so another thing I want to share is construction has started, right? So for many projects around RTS, the major ones this year, which are so-called fighting each other, right? RNF is probably the most advanced in terms of construction. You can see here the phase 3, they've already done the piling works, right? The basement floors are being built right now, right? I think if you go to the site today, you can even see level 1 already, right? Very, very fast construction going on. So they are on track to finish by end of 2029. It may be even earlier, right? I think developer will try to do it early 2029, if not 2028, right, to complete this project. Okay, and this is phase 4 lah, which will block most of phase 3 lah. Okay, so pricing. So why is RNF attractive, right? Because actually pricing is attractive. Okay, so people ask me, hey Ryan, sometimes I don't want to buy RNF Princess Cove because there's some prejudice to Chinese developer, or they don't like high density project. But ultimately, actually a lot of people came to buy RNF because RNF price cheap. When you talk about per square foot, like I said, it launched as low as 8xx PSF, but in general it's about 9xx PSF to 1000 PSF, right? Considering resale market, if you want to buy resale this area today, also selling 1000, right? People can buy brand new 1000 PSF, they also like it, they don't mind, right? And you consider phase 2, RNF is selling at 1300 per square foot. Exim Causeway Square also 1300 per square foot. Gensfield also 1300 per square foot. So when RNF sell 1000 per square foot, 30% cheaper, 30% cheaper. That's a big price difference. It's not 5%, 10%, 30% cheaper, right? So a lot of people thought, hey, RNF not bad, this price. So one bedroom, 5x 500,000 onwards, two bedroom 800,000 onwards, 3 bedroom 1.2 million, 4 bedroom 1.9 million. Booking fee is 1,000 ringgit, right? You can get a loan. The bankers, I think they have on confirm right now, so-called Maybank, Public Bank, RHB. We expect at least 2 or 3 more banks to come on. Affin Bank most likely as well. So at least 3 to 4 banks for now, maybe up to 5, right? You can expect to borrow 70-85%. 70% if you're Singaporean. If you're Singaporean, I think expect to be more conservative, borrow 70%. Malaysian maybe can get a higher 80-85% loan. Okay, so SPA and loan legal fee free for everybody. Now, if you are a foreigner, you have to pay the foreign levy, right? Of course, MOT is borne by all buyers. So foreign levy for RNF is quite interesting, because some of you may have read the news that foreigners have to pay a high foreign levy today, because as of 1st of July, Johor government changed the foreign levy to 3%. But RNF, because of their legacy situation, because they got approval from when they bought the land over a decade ago, right? They got special approval where their foreigner levy is still 10,000 ringgit only, which is wow. See, Ryan, are you sure or not? This is new news. A lot of people tell me it's new news. Yes, R&F Phase 3, they have approval to do foreign levy at only 10,000 ringgit only. So that saves a lot of money for foreign buyers. Because if you go and buy Causeway Square, for example, or Exim or Gensphere, you have to pay 50,000 ringgit, which is a 5 times difference. Okay, 5 times difference for foreign levy, right? If you buy below 1 million ringgit. So for R&F, the foreign levy is cheaper a lot for foreign buyers. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just WhatsApp me. I'll explain to you in a bit detail. If this is, I don't want to go into too detail here, maybe very complicated. Okay, but for foreign buyers, R&F is cheaper. You pay a much smaller foreign levy. Okay, so let's go through the pros and cons of buying RNF Princess Cove Phase 3, the good and the bad. So the first one is, of course, pricing. Of all the RTS launches this year, that means anything that can walk to RTS station, RNF has the best price, cheapest price. I think it's a very big factor. Everybody want to buy cheap, want to buy cheapest product, right? So RNF is the cheapest product, right? Cheaper from a per square foot perspective, cheaper also from a quantum perspective, right? And you are 30% cheaper, yeah. Like I said, Causeway Square is 1,300, Gensphere is also 1,300, Arden also 1,300. So most of the projects, competing projects nearby are selling about 30% higher. RNF is the cheapest of all of them, right? And second thing is, if you buy RNF, the big plus point is that you're buying into the existing mini township. That means even if you buy Phase 3, you get connected to the RNF Mall, right? And you have all the culture and the services and the amenities that come from RNF Mall, from the Opera House, the performances, the Marina Place, right? And all the existing residents who live in Phase 1, Phase 2 also add to the vibrancy of the area, right? And you have a lot of track records from the transactions, from sale or rental, from Phase 1, Phase 2. They give you a lot of confidence about how Phase 3 will perform, right? So you're not buying a new condo in the middle of nowhere in a new area, right? In JB, this happens a lot, right? People ask me, hey, like, how about here, how about here? And I say some of these areas are very new, right? So when you buy there, you are like the first person there, right? So you don't know whether this place will perform or not. But RNF, we already know, right, the good and the bad of RNF, right, because this is an existing mini township with over 10 years history, right? So this is a good plus point. Number 3, unit sizes are good, right? So we're talking about decent sizes. They are not small, right? I know some of you complain about sizes in the other projects here, and the sizes here are not too investor focused, right? The sizes here are also very good for own stay retiree buyers, which I think is very important. A project cannot be too investor focused, right? Number 4, a lot of facilities, big size facilities, right, which is important. You, even if you buy a studio or one bedder, you enjoy everything on the 11-acre land. You buy into a mega project, right? Those of you who have been to Phase 2 facilities, you know what I mean. You enjoy a large plot of land, right? Even though you buy a small unit. And most importantly, you can walk from RNF Phase 3 to CIQ RTS through the sheltered walkway, right? So there is an existing bridge for you where you walk through aircon, you walk through mall, you walk through sheltered. So it's a comfortable walk all the way to RTS. Okay, so what's the con number 1? Con number 1, which most people will say, is that if you don't want to buy RNF, is that it's the furthest away or very far from RTS, which is true, right? If you walk from RNF Phase 3 to immigration, is a minimum 900-meter walk. All the way to CIQ is probably more than 1 kilometer walk, right? And say, right, hey, that's too far, I cannot walk so far. Okay, I agree, right? The distance is the furthest. If you compare to Gensphere, you compare to Exim Causeway Square, they are all nearer to RTS, nearer to CIQ. Phase 3 is the furthest one away. But like I said, I find that the walk is okay, like I said, because it's sheltered. We're not making you walk in the sun. We're not making you walk in the rain, right? Exposed to traffic. You are walking through the mall, Phase 1 for most of it, right? You know, you cross the bridge first, you go to RNF Mall, so you're going through a mall, right? You can have breakfast first, right, before you continue your journey. So it's not like you're making you walk through a very difficult terrain. So I feel that the walk, although far, is still acceptable, right? Many people in Singapore walk this distance anyway every day, right? The other negative is that majority of units have block views, so no sea view here or very little sea view units, right? Number 3 is the layouts. Unfortunately, all of them lack a yard, all of them lack closed kitchen. I would have liked the architect to have given these two, right, to make the home more family friendly, but yeah, unfortunately all Phase 3 is like that. Because Phase 2 and Phase 1 you can still find closed kitchen and yard, but Phase 3 don't have. I don't know why they make this decision, but it is what it is. Number 4, talking about car park, where all the studios and many of the one bedrooms don't have car park. So if you guys want to buy a car park, you have to be more selective in what unit you buy, because not all of them come with a car park, right? Because again, different from Phase 2, Phase 1. So this is a change over here, which I think is a negative change right, for RNF Princess Cove Phase 3. But overall, like I said, the biggest plus point of RNF Phase 3 is like price, right? Nowadays, the concern when you come to buy in JB, right, is that property price is going up. Some of you are saying, hey, JB prices are rising too fast. One thing good about RNF Phase 3, I think at this price, 1,000 PSF is proven in the resale market, sub-sale market. There are a lot of transactions now in RNF area or around outside, which is around 1,000 PSF. So for a new condo to sell 1,000 PSF, I think is attractive, right? Because you can buy new for the same price, proven around in the area, right? Which I think is good if you're an investor, good if you're a buyer. You know that you are not paying expensive for this property. Okay, so before we end this video, I want to share that I am a property agent. Yeah. So you know, sometimes I meet people in JB, right? Say, hey, you are Ryan? Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm the YouTuber. Yes, thank you. Then they tell me they buy property, but they never buy through me. And I also don't know why. I feel sad whenever I see this. So some of you who are watching this video probably are like, hey, sorry, Ryan, I don't know why I never buy through you. So you watch my video but somehow never buy property through me. I also said. So please, if you want to buy RNF Princess Cove Phase 3 or buy any other property in JB, please contact me, right? If I cannot help you, I will tell you I cannot help you, right? But especially if you buy near RTS, right, I'm sure I can help you. So please contact me on WhatsApp. 81261626. This is my Singapore number, and this is my Malaysian number, 0122591876, right? We can have a non-obligation discussion, talk about it. I'll bring you to the sales gallery to find out more. R&F Princess Cove have a very nice sales gallery on site, right? And also some show flats, which you can see on site, right? If you need transport from Singapore, I can also arrange transport from Singapore if you need, right? If you don't want to come yourself to JB, is the best, right? That means that shows me that you are also very familiar with JB already. So I'm a property agent. In Malaysia, I'm very familiar with the Singapore market as well because I'm with ERA, so I know the Singapore mindset and the Singapore restrictions very well. Especially if you're a HDB owner, private property owner, you worry about ABSD, TDS. Obviously, I can explain all these things to you, so you can buy with a very clear mind, right? About buying property in JB. I'll help you answer all those questions for you. So like I said, I'm a property agent now, so you want to buy, contact me, right? I can sell one, okay? I'm paid by the developer, right? I'm appointed by the developer to market this project, okay? So thank you very much. If you guys enjoyed my video, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? We do a lot of content on buying property in JB and retirement in JB. You can also scan here to join our mailing list, right? You can also join our Facebook group, Malaysian Investors in Singapore, right? Where we share some news over here as well. And like I said, feel free to contact me, right? Ryan Khoo, if you want to have a discussion about buying property in JB or buying R&F Princess Cove Phase 3, okay? And yeah, so thank you very much. This is my honest review on R&F Princess Cove Phase 3. It's a very popular project. A lot of people are buying now. I want to shoot this video out early because I don't want people to be too late, right? I want you guys to see this video earlier so you can have do your homework earlier and have enough information to make a better decision earlier before all the units sell out or before the prices go up, okay? Because RTS is coming soon in the next 18 months. As people see more progress in that, right, developer will get more confident and prices may go up or units will sell out faster. So don't take too long. If you are keen to buy, please do your research quickly, right, and come and see quickly. It's always easy to come and see. It's the best. That will help you understand fastest rather than keep watching YouTube only, right? YouTube helps you for a start, but you must ultimately come and see to be confident and understand fully. Okay, so thank you very much. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.